Hello, my lovelies. How are you? My name's Elizabeth. Welcome to my channel, Embracing the Chaos. So let me ask you, are you dealing possibly with someone that has the emotional intelligence of like a 2-year-old, acting very, very immature? You could have chose to separate from this person. They're projecting. This is like giving the energy of projection at its finest. They're projecting all their insecurities, and they're not only projecting, they're also taking the things that you might have said to them and twisting it as if it were something that they are saying to you, and they're projecting that onto you. You could be, my notes are over here, just so you know. They're blaming you for their inadequacies, is what I was getting. They're blaming you for their inadequacies within the connection. They can't fathom the fact that you possibly walked away from them or you chose to disassociate yourself from them because of their immaturity. So let's start off with there. Are you, or have you in the past experienced your relationships when you find that they were over and they come to an end, that your exes were really good about having a complete meltdown, like bad, like in the worst way? They show you things and sides of themselves that you never thought that they would, that this type of energy, the person that you associated with, even through the entire connection, you never thought that this person could act as immature as they're acting at the time. They say things, they may tell you that things in the relationship were a lie, everything was based on a lie, and they tell you that you're so horrible, and they project, like I said, their inadequacies. So if they couldn't emotionally communicate to you certain things that they were feeling or certain things that they were going through, but you were, they would say that you complained all the time to them. You were constantly nagging on them when all you were doing was speaking up and telling about how things made you feel. Well, that's emotional intelligence. To stuff those and to hide those and to not communicate those is immature. Someone that wants to endure a healthy relationship is going to say, hey, I feel this way when you do this, or it makes me feel like this when you do that. And it's to let the other person know that it makes them feel uncomfortable. And it's upon that individual, whoever you're with, to make the necessary changes if they feel like it's something that they feel the need to change. And then it's placed back upon you if they do or don't. If they do, then great. And if they don't, well, then, things start to pile up. And I feel like this is what happened in this situation. You were there for this person. You helped them with something. It was a major deal, a major life change within them. It's not just this individual, though. Here's what you need to know, and they're bringing me to this. This is what your guides want you to know. What happens in the end when they have this meltdown is that you're holding up this mirror and they're looking at themselves. You're showing them, you're telling them, not in a hateful, demeaning way. You're not putting them down. You're basically just telling the facts. They flip out. Well, if this sounds like you in the situation you're dealing with, then I have a reading for you, and that's what this reading is about. I feel like this is something that we need to discuss, something we need to talk about. So, you know the rules of tarot. You take what resonates and you leave what does not. If it doesn't apply, then we simply let it fly. Flip it, switch it, stick it, but we don't force anything to fit in any kind of way. Okay, so, I'm starting with the Angel Oracle. We're going to see what the fallen angels have to say. This person's just lashing out. They're wounded. They're going to say anything and everything to try to get under your skin. The reason why it's so difficult for when you find yourself in this position at the end of these kind of relationships It's difficult for those energies to separate from you, number one, because you are so pure and you do treat them good. I'm not saying that you don't make mistakes of your own. You do. And I'm pretty sure you're one that will take accountability for those. And if not, then you should. You definitely should. I do feel like some of the things they say is very painful, and I feel like someone needs to understand that when they say these things and they hurt you like that, to stop for just a moment, sit with that energy and remind yourself, think, is there any validity in what they're saying? Are they validated in the way that they're saying this? Take away the tone, take away the sarcasm, take away the fluff, and see where it's actually coming from. Now, if there's anything in it that you need to learn from it, then take that, okay? Sometimes these situations are meant to help us evolve and grow, whether we like them or not. We did put ourselves in this position, and we have to keep that in mind. So, instead of responding or clapping back or being hateful back, just take what they say with a grain of salt, because if it's not true and you know it's not true, then they're just simply saying it because they're trying to get to you. They're trying to hurt you. And hey, it's coming from a wound within them. Why should you let their wound continue to hurt you? Okay, let's see. We have Fornius, Furfur, Came, and Gushan. Okay. So Fornius, this is about being honest. And it's being honest about the wounding, the mutual wounding between the two. A lot of times, we get in these situations, we attract these type of people into our lives because there's something there that they can teach us as well. And I kind of feel like in this situation, what I'm talking about, there was more learning on their behalf. You were more the teacher, but there is still always, and foremost, always remember that there's always learning that you can do in any situation, regardless of what it is. So it's about you sitting with that information and seeing what you can get away from it, get out of it, So somebody could be receiving some money. Looks like it'll stay a while. It's, not allowing their inner child who's wounded and striking out and being ridiculous. Let's just face it, they're being ridiculous. Not allowing their inner child to come to bat with you, because you've already healed some parts of yourself that seems to be showing up in this individual, and that's the reason why you're mirroring back to them what they need to see about themselves that they're in denial about, they don't want to face. Okay, the truth is something that is going to come through. The truth, it will be revealed. They will see the truth. And whatever's going between the two of you, you will be able to allow things to calm down. Once they allow their mental mind and their mouths to quiet down. So I wouldn't engage in conversation with this person. I wouldn't, because when you're dealing with someone's inner child that is wounded at this level, it doesn't matter if you're giving them positive attention, positive reinforcement, or negative reinforcement. It doesn't matter. They're going to twist it and they're going to throw it back at you as if they have something that they can say and that they have a leg to stand on. And the truth be told, any attention's better than no attention at all. And that is a fact when it comes to dealing with somebody's child wound. So just mum's the word. Don't even say anything. Allow them to sit in that energy. Allow them to run their mouths and say whatever they need to say. Because here's the thing. The more that they say, the more that they're going to have to reflect on, because the more it's going to come back on them, the less that you give to it. They're going to realize just how far they've really taken it and how far they really hurt you, or possibly hurt themselves. And in the end, when it comes down to it, if they truly loved you, When they realize what they've said, it will wound them. But it's a wound that they need to carry of their own. It's not something that you need to carry. It's something they need to realize about themselves, that you don't talk to the one you love just any old way and say mean and hurtful things. You don't. Especially when it's coming from a place of wound. And a lot of times people don't see their wounds. They don't think they're wounded. They're angry. You know, the anger seems to cover up the wounding, and they justify the situation within themselves, and they want to act like it's all your fault, it's all your fault, but they don't want to take accountability for what they're saying that they continue to do. And I feel like this is someone that continues to act like a child. Looks like once things are evaluated, they're gonna make a good decision and possibly go a different way. They're gonna leave you alone. I feel like you've already gotten to a calm place with this, and you realize that it's just best just to walk away. If you're that horrible as they say you are, then why are they fighting? Why are they so mad? Why? If you're not worth all the fight and energy and effort, then what is that? What's the complaint? If some stranger on the street says something bad to you, 5 minutes later, you're just like, whatever. You know, you might say something then, but the next day, the day after that, you don't. It's not playing over and over and over in your mind because you're not wounded by it, right? This individual is definitely going to be sitting in their own filth when they wake up in the morning. So don't allow energies like this to get you down, especially when you've healed enough of yourself to know that this is coming from a wound, a childish, immature thing about themselves. They can't accept rejection. Well, rejection is your protection, whether you believe it or not, and whether they can see it or not. You rejecting this was to protect yourself. And it was also, obviously, something that they couldn't handle within themselves. Because if you were continuing on your healing journey, let's say, and this person had maxed out, or they got into a spot where they were comfortable, well, you are one that has gotten comfortable with being uncomfortable and has decided to move on and not stay in a place of uncomfortability, because you would like to get to a place where you're at peace, right? So this individual definitely wants to fight and argue and continue to try to drag you down. They want to try to pull you down to their level. The best thing you can do is not say a word and move on. Move in silence. Don't tell them what you're doing. It's none of their business at this point. It's time for you to just allow them to sit in their own filth. They've brought this on themselves, and it's just leave them be. Just leave them be. Eventually they'll learn, or they won't. They'll just keep attracting toxic partners, just as toxic as they are, and they'll continue on a continuous cycle. But honey, it is not for you to worry your pretty little head about. It's not. There is a lot of strength that can come from turmoil, yes. And it is going to require a lot of strength in you to walk away from this, to not to continue the he said, she said, or the back and forth of the blame game. It takes a lot of strength and courage not to continue with that. And let's face it, let's be honest. If you love that person, you wouldn't continue to drag that through them, because you know it's hurting them. Regardless, you know it's hurting them. And I don't feel like you're an energy that really truly desires to hurt this individual. You've both reached a place where neither one of you are on the same plane. Neither one of you are on the same playing field. Neither one of you are on the same planet, for all of that I know. You just can't communicate. No matter what you're communicating, neither one of you is hearing the other. And when you reach a point like that, and I feel like you've tried to agree to disagree, and leave things at a standstill, but that didn't work, because somebody had to bring something up. Somebody had to continue with their wound, and that's where the emotional intelligence, the emotional maturity steps in. And I feel like you are an individual that is completely emotionally more mature than this person, and it's just best just to walk away. You have some kind of ancestors. You could have some kind of family member that's trying to give you advice. Careful with the advice that you get from others, especially involving others in your situation. It's best not to honestly involve family and things like that into your relationship, especially if you're not done with the person. I've seen in the past how that has caused a lot of problems further on down the road by going and having a confidant in someone that is family related. Now, if you have someone that's not involved in the relationship between the two of you, and it's someone that you can trust, sure, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But my number one advice would be to sit within yourself and come to the answers and get the answers you need for yourself, because there's no better answer, because nobody can give you any better answer than you can give yourself, and that's the truth. But we've got to learn to embrace the chaos that's going on inside us, okay? So I feel like you're questioning, is this something you've done? Is there something you're not seeing about yourself? And there's a little bit of wounding. I feel like there's wounding coming on from your behalf, sure. But I don't feel like you necessarily deserved it. I feel like you showed up in the ways that you should have showed up in this connection. But I don't feel like this person is seeing the weight that they've put on you. They will. They will. It just takes time. It just takes time. Okay? Okay, so if you're not careful indulging in this, it's going to set you back. If you partake in this back and forth energy with this individual, it's going to set you back some. And then you're not going to be happy with yourself. You're not going to be happy with yourself. You're just not. And that's a lot of money somebody's fixing to get. I don't know who you are, but bye. There is the ability to heal the situation once you are able to get, like I said, to a calmer place. 1717 on the timer to heal, and I'm seeing the number 7 here. So this could be in 7 days, 7 hours, 7 months, 7 years. I don't know. 7 seems to be an important number. I feel like once you're able to allow this individual to sit in their own energy and allow their emotions to flow freely from them, you don't have to, like I said, you don't have to indulge in this. You don't have to pay attention to this. You don't have to give in to this. They're going to be able to see. They will be able to see. And there seems to be something here that's going to catch you off guard. It looks like it could be some kind of choice. The choice that you're making right now and not combating this and engaging in this is something that you will celebrate within yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be something that you'd have like a big old party or anything like that. It's just a small celebration. But I do see that there's a possibility you're going to be presented with some kind of choice here, and it'll be a single choice. It'll be one. I'm not sure. It doesn't feel like it's too comfortable to me. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable, if nothing else. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable. It's going to catch you off guard for sure. Okay, let's see what the tarot has to say. Shall we? What do we need to know? What else do we need to know about this? Yeah, 2 of Pentacles. I feel like we're needing to be a little bit more balanced here. I feel like you are balanced, but maybe we're needing to ground. I feel like we're needing to ground a little bit more to be more balanced, to be able to see the ins and outs, the goods, the bads, the ups, the downs, to be able to see the duplicity of the situation, to be able to see the dual side of the situation, your role in it. We have the Strength card, the Lovers, with the 10 of Wands. Yeah, in time, once the balance is created, you're gonna feel more confident. You're gonna be more confident in the choices that you make. At this time, I feel like with that 10 of Wands, you've already made a decision. You've made a choice to go ahead and just, you know, pack your bags back up. So if this was a lover's relationship, a lover's connection, then obviously you've pulled up stake and you're back to carrying the weight. But this is something that you're used to. You're used to having to do this. 2020. I feel like something could be coming in, something that's balanced, that you're going to be happy about when it comes to a lover's connection. Well, it looks like the decision that you're going to be making is to transform. You're transforming some kind of deep wounds within yourself. This is going to give you more confidence. The more that you're able to combat, as I'm saying, the Queen of Pentacles there, the more you're able to combat these energies. And when they're coming at you and they're being thrown at you like this. So this is like offering you an opportunity to create some kind of change within the self, because you have some deep emotional wounds. Yes, it's sad that when you're in a position like this and you're dealing with energies like this and you're being wounded by this individual because of the things that they're saying out of their pain. It does suck, but it seems to me like the decision that you're making is going to allow you to transform away from feeling the way you're feeling right now. So you may have to just ghost, go silent, completely block this individual for the time being. There's nothing wrong with that to save your inner peace. If this person's lashing out at you and saying to me and doing hurtful things, as long as you don't have children together and you don't have to deal with this person on a daily or on a regular, I would say it's probably best to just cut all contact. This is a no contact time. And give a little space. Give a little space. This ending is definitely wounding this person. This person's definitely wounded by it. But the other morning I woke up and I heard. I was always a believer that pain was, I didn't care for pain. And I know growing up, no pain, no gain, heard all that stuff, right? But then I heard the other morning, as I was waking up, I was having a conversation with my guides, and one of the things that one of them said was, pain lets you know that you're not in a bubble, that you've come out of the cave, that you're actually experiencing something. It allows you that space to grow. It pushes you in a place of uncomfortability, and you can either accept it and grow from it, or you can wallow in it and it can consume you. And what is this? The world in reverse. We're not allowing something. Yeah. Oh. So you're not willing to start another chapter. But I see, because you're not willing to take the pain with you into the new you. So you are elevating yourself. This is going to allow you that ability to elevate yourself, so you're not feeling, if you ever find yourself in a position like this again, and you are able to combat it now, even though it's uncomfortable and it feels really rough on you, in the future, hopefully you don't ever have to endure such a thing again. But if you are if you ever do find yourself in a situation that's similar to this one, that feels uncomfortable and it's very toxic, then you're able to feel confident in the choices that you're making, and you're confident in being silent. This is given stoicism, very stoic. Seeing the Queen of Cups here. Someone could be obsessed with money. This person could be obsessed with money. There was a glitch right there. Like, I totally froze on the screen. I don't know if it froze for you, but it did for me. Yeah, you're going to learn. I feel like you're going to learn not to allow these kind of energies to actually come in. You're going to see what attracted you to this individual, and it's not going to be a repeated offense for you. I don't see that. You're going to spend a little bit of time. It's going to take some time. You're going to do some internal reflecting about it. You're going to do some healing around it. And this is also going to be a beacon. You're going to be able to be that beacon of light. And when those triggers come in and those situations come in and those individuals start to show themselves, start to expose themselves in a way that is similar to this, you're going to know not to involve yourself in them. So therefore, you're going to be able to remove yourself before they ever get to the point where there's this kind of energy going back and forth between the two of you. I'm going to check on that world in reverse. Yeah, you're not... You're still bringing love to the situation. I see that and I understand that. But as far as accepting... accepting... So you accepted something in this connection with this individual that you will no longer accept in future connections. And it's not something that you should have ever accepted. And you're seeing that if they don't speak to you in a loving manner and they don't treat you with love in the way that they should, and they don't, it's like talking to you, because I'm seeing justice here. There's definitely an imbalance in what the things that they would say. There seemed to be some kind of difference of opinion between the two of you when it came to the foundations of something, how things are built into it, how things are created. I feel like you're an energy that fully understands that our words are magic, that our words have a lot of weight. So if you love someone, there are certain things you do not say, even from a wounded state. This individual has yet to learn that lesson. I don't feel like you're going to be allowing anyone else that even shows signs. So they could have called you certain names and said, oh, that's just me, that's just the way I talk, da 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 da. No, that is not okay. Especially if it unnerves something within you. I feel like it was something that was difficult for you to deal with, difficult for you to accept. It's the little things like that start the process, that starts this individual or anyone else for that matter in this person's shoes that are dealing with their kind of wounding to feel like they can just talk to you any way. And once you accept it, you don't set that boundary, then it's only going to progress and get worse. And I feel like this person wasn't able to see this for themselves. Ooh-wee, I'm seeing the Empress and the Emperor on the bottom of the deck. You are completely empowering yourself on all levels. You're taking back control of the situation, of you, and what you have going on here. And I see you're bringing love. You're slowly moving to your place of empowerment. You're putting yourself back on your throne. Well, that's good. That's why you're not taking another spin. You're not allowing this to circle back. Yeah. I see that you still love. You're still going to offer love. You're still going to have love for this individual, but I don't see... it's kind of hard to reconcile from situations like this. And there was a third party, just FYI. Now, a third party can be anything from an addiction of theirs, some kind of thought process. They could be, it could be just a memory or something that they were dealing with from their past. That could be the third party. A remembrance of some kind of wound that they kept cycling back through. And they try to use brute strength to strong arm it. And you can't strong arm those things. You have to love those things. And speak, and it's in the ways that you speak and how you speak to others. There seems to be like you're going to be reconciled with something that you once felt optimistic about, that there was some kind of struggle. Yeah, by loving this person, by loving yourself more than this person, and still being able to express love and show love to this individual, is allowing you the space and the energy to actually see where there's a possibility that you can learn something through the drama, through the trauma, through the chaos, through the stressful situation, whatever, the winning at all cost. You're learning. I feel like you're learning, because I do feel like there was a little bit of tit for tat. I do feel like there was a little bit of back and forth at times. I don't feel like you fully engaged in it, but I do feel like that, yeah. And it was coming from a wound within you. And I do feel like you've seen that, though. And you're seeing, yeah, because there was growth, yeah. In the future, I do see that there's a possibility that this person is going to have some kind of involvement or growth within themselves. Just to let you know, just to give you a peace of mind. It doesn't make it okay, and I'm not saying that if you don't want to go back to them, to go back to them. What I'm saying is to help ease you just a little bit, because I do feel like you do kind of worry, and it'll be fine. They'll be fine. Let's see what else comes out, and then we'll let you go. Is there anything else the collective needs to know in regards to this situation that we are talking about? It looks like you're going to be receiving some kind of information that you're going to actually be researching on, and it's going to allow you to master something within the self. You could be learning to listen to your intuition a lot more, or leaning on your guides more in the situation, or in situations, period, not necessarily just a situation. You've mastered something when it comes to connection, and understanding how things are built or meant to be brought or built into. So you've mastered something here, or you're researching it. You're receiving messages, and you're going to be doing some kind of research to better understand how to build into solid foundations, to solid relationships with individuals, so that you're not having to attach yourself to toxic individuals. Yeah, so things can be more successful. There is a realization of something here. Possibly in the way that, you, like I said, you accepted certain things you probably shouldn't have accepted. Yeah, Queen of Wands. You are very passionate. I see that. And you are probably pretty passionate towards this person, but you're also just as equally wounded. I do see that. You're going to realize some kind of wounding within yourself. But that's what's going to allow you to be able to work through certain energies. And you're going to understand why it's best to not allow your passion, the anger or the frustration or the things that cause upset to come into your world. You're going to realize what stems from that, and it looks like that's where you're going to start doing your research. It's, why do I act this way when this is said, or why do I do this or say this when this is done? That's what it's giving. Four of Pentacles. You hold back from saying something. Wow. Ten of Cups. I see you holding on to tightly, maybe some kind of information or some kind of skill mastery. You're holding on to something that you've held yourself back from. You're going to be holding on to that information, to that skill, because there's something here. There's some kind of information, or there's some kind of gift. There's something that's being gifted to you. Looks like it could be from an elder. It's like you're receiving some kind of gift here that you were once held back from by answering the higher call, by elevating yourself in this situation, and you're going to feel emotionally fulfilled. It's going to make you feel really good. 10 of Cups. Ooh. Empress, this Ace of Swords. Well, ain't good when the Empress comes up with the Ace of Swords. So that means she is not happy. Yeah. She's evaluated something here, and she definitely ain't happy. So you definitely may say or do something here, accept something here that you've been reflecting on. And it could be somebody's offered you something, or will, by this point, have offered you some kind of love invite, and it looks like you're going to spend some time reflecting on it, and you're going to accept some kind of truth about it. Now, because I'm seeing the King of Swords here and the Ten of Pentacles, you're going to know. You're going to see something. You're accepting something. That's solid. Just got to get to a calmer place. You might have to use a little bit of head over heart decision in a situation when it comes to accepting it, not allowing your heart to take the lead, because I feel like it's something that's going to be emotional. But you're going to see the progress, and that's what's going to allow you to accept the truth about, possibly it could be a mother wound. And that's what's allowing you to heal some kind of mother wound. And a mother wound would lash out. A mother wound is stemming from a mother that is harsh with her words and says and does and neglects and doesn't want anything to do with her child. So you could be cutting that loose, that mother wound out, by answering to this call. And that call is to disassociate yourself. Gotta lisp. Sometimes I stutter. The words don't want to come out. And heal. Just heal yourself by loving yourself. And still, just show love. In any situation. You don't have to get into a tit for tat, or you don't have to clap back at people. You don't have to get in those verbal confrontations with them. If that's something that they feel the need to do, then just allow them to do that by themselves. Because if you engage in that, I'm going to be real with you, if you engage in that, you're just as immature. We don't want to be that immature, because we're not that immature. So this is about stepping into that and elevating ourselves to a space where we understand being emotionally in check with ourselves, and understand where we feel, why we feel those things, and when certain things make us feel a certain way, what we do in those instances. So like, I have 4 children, and I told my children as I was raising them, I only have one at home now. I was teaching my children that it's okay to get angry. It's okay to get sad. It's okay to feel emotions, basically. It's not about feeling those emotions. It's about what you do, the actions you take, the things that you say that matter. And I feel like that's what we're learning here. I feel like we're finally gathering that. We're finally allowing that to basically sink in. And we're not going to be allowing certain energies like that. And that could stem from a father wound as well. I'm seeing a father wound as well, because if you had an adequate father or role model in your life growing up, you would know that there's certain ways and certain things that a male is supposed to treat a female. So if you are the feminine in this aspect, then there's certain ways that we don't allow men to speak to us, and disrespectful, because it's disrespectful. It's flat out. And obviously, whoever you're dealing with didn't have very good role models. Maybe neither one of you did. I don't know. But one of you is definitely more elevated than the other. And it shows. Well, my lovelies, I do hope this helps. And I want to thank each and every one of you for sharing this space with me. And until we meet again, Toodaloo.